All right, my name is Mike. I am the FNTP trucker. I am certified as a functional nutritional therapy practitioner, as well as a primal health coach, and I am an over-the-road truck driver. What this means is I believe in a properly prepared, nutrient-dense, real whole foods approach to health and wellness. Um, so hopefully you've watched the part one of the 21-day challenge videos. In this video, in the last video, kind of went over an overview of the program as well as the 7 steps to reclaim your health, reclaim your life, and embrace the journey. In this video, I want to go ahead and go over the diet changes that the 21-day challenge will implement. We went over some exercise changes on the first video, so if you haven't watched that, I'll leave a link for it in the description below. So before we get started, I did post in my group as well as a few other groups an affirmation that I believe is going to really help people see improvements and become rededicated, if not dedicated, to improving their health and wellness. And the affirmation is, I want you to get in front of your mirror, use the selfie camera on your phone, or find some other way that you can look yourself in the eyes and read this out loud or say this out loud to yourself. My choices, the foods I chose to eat, and my actions have created the health problems I'm experiencing. I take full responsibility for my health and wellness. I will stop blaming others and making excuses. I am in charge of my health and my results from this moment on, and I am taking control of my health now. After you've said that, say it again, and then again and again. Repeat this daily to yourself. But remember, an affirmation without implementation is nothing but self-delusion. For those of you who are familiar with Larry Winget, in his book, Get Out of Your Own Way, he has an affirmation about personal responsibility. I adapted that for health and wellness. And then the quote about an affirmation without implementation comes from that book as well. I have it on Audible. So remember, we are in charge of our health and wellness. We may have been misled and taught incorrectly. However, that still, we need to take responsibility for that because the proper information was out there the whole time for us to seek out and find, but our comfort in listening to people, even if they were telling us things that just didn't seem right, because we would do them and then not see any results from it. I'm very much guilty of that. My doctor kept telling me that I needed to lose weight, needed to watch my cholesterol. And so finally, I had the aha moment that I needed to really work on my health and wellness when my daughter was 4. So that was about 3 years ago. She's 7 now. And I was playing with her and I just couldn't keep up. I was getting winded and, I just kind of had an epiphany of what my life would be like and that I may not be there for a lot of the major moments of my daughter's life that I would want to be involved in and I would want to experience, all because of my health and wellness. So I started following my doctor's recommendations. I would eat less calories, eat really low fat, and I still was gaining weight. So I haven't seen the scale move up, so I doubled down on my efforts. At one point, I ate completely fat-free as much as possible. I had minimal amounts of fat in my diet. I was upping my carbs and my protein, and the scale kept creeping up. So then I came across Kevin Rutherford on the Sirius XM, and I started listening to him, following his son, and changed my life. And I see that there are a lot of people who are out here struggling on the road to maintain their health and wellness. And that's my goal, is to work with drivers who are no longer getting their 2-year medical card. And I want to help drivers get their 2-year medical card back, because for the people who truly love this industry and what they do, without that medical card, they are in jeopardy of losing their livelihood and being kicked out of the industry that they love. And most of the reasons that people get denied a 2-year card can be improved with through nutrition and lifestyle changes. So let's move on to the diet portion of the changes that we will make during the 21-day challenge. I did give a bit of an overview in the first video of the diet. We're going to go down a little bit deeper into what kind of changes we're going to make. First and foremost, we are not going to fear fat, as long as it's the right types of fat. So we're looking for, we don't want those high omega-6 polyunsaturated fats that are in those industrial seed oils. The industrial seed oils have other health issues that come along with them, with just their manufacturing process. Oils and fats become damaged, or what is known as oxidized. That oxidation can then cause free radicals in the body, which are precursors to many different types of diseases, cancer included. So the more oxidized the oil or fat is when we consume it, the worse it is for us. Add on to that the high levels of omega-6 versus omega-3 fatty acids, and those become even worse for us. Excuse me. So we want to eat a balance of omega-6 to omega-3 fatty acids, and the way we do that is by eating a properly prepared, nutrient-dense diet. So with that oxidation, the way that oils and fats are oxidated is through light, heat, and oxygen. So think about that bottle of canola oil you see sitting on the shelf in the store. Vegetable oil, all of those industrial seed oils, you see them sitting on the shelf. First of all, when they're shipped, as far as I know, they're not temperature controlled. I don't know for sure. I do drive for a reefer company. I have not hauled any kind of vegetable oil, so I don't know for sure whether or not they are temperature controlled in transit. But in storage, in the back room, and in the store, they are not temperature controlled. So they are potentially exposed to heat, which will help oxidize it. They are in plastic bottles that are going to leach out potentially toxic chemicals into the oil itself. Then you're going to cook it. Your food will cook in that oil and absorb those chemicals. So that's another issue with those industrial seed oils. They're in a clear bottle. Light is going to help the oxidation process. So they're just constantly exposed to light. And then oxygen. So they are sealed, but once you open them, and this is with any oil you buy commercially, whether it's extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, it's going to be exposed to oxygen. We want to minimize that as much as we can, and the best way to minimize the oxygen exposure is to use it within 6 months after opening it, whether it's extra virgin olive oil, coconut oil, or avocado oil, really just any kind of fat or oil. In the truck, I would recommend storing your oil in the fridge if you have room for it. The reason for that is, these trucks that I've got a Carrier Comfort Pro APU. It does a pretty decent job, but you get out into California, Florida in the middle of the summer, it's going to be 80, 90 degrees in the truck when it's 100, 110, 120 outside. it's going to be somewhere between 80 to 100 in the truck. So then that oil is just exposed to that heat. So I would recommend keeping it in the fridge, at least during the summer. And then the other part is you want to buy oils that are in dark glass containers. Glass, there's no concern of toxic chemicals leaching from the container into the oil, and then it being dark in color blocks the light out and helps to protect it from the oxidation that would occur from exposure to light. So that's the first thing that we would eliminate. The second thing we're going to eliminate on the first level of the diet, that intro phase, is all gluten-containing grains. Now, ideally, we're going to eliminate all grains, and you can, if you want to, you can jump straight into the paleo version at level 2 or the keto version at level 3. But I believe in meeting my clients where they are. So if you are somebody who you're just dealing with some addiction issues to the grains, Wheat Belly is a great book. You can find it on Audible, and it will actually explain some of the addiction issues that come along with grains and how they actually bind. There's chemicals within them that are known as exorphins, and they actually bind to morphine receptors in the brain. And there's been some experiments that they've done with medications that they give people addicted to opioids and opiates, and they have found that they make better choices and stay away from grain-containing foods when they've been dosed with those medications. So there is some credibility to having a food addiction like that. So in conjunction with eliminating those two things, we are going to eliminate all processed foods. And if I don't include that as a third thing that we're going to eliminate, because simply by eliminating, actually there is a third thing we'll come back to. Simply by eliminating these three things, which the third one is refined sugars. So, your white sugar, you don't need that. We can use natural sugars, natural sweeteners, such as local raw, unfiltered honey, and maple syrup. Coconut sugar would be acceptable, because at least with the sugar, you're getting minerals with it. So again, this is just in that transition phase, in that level 1. So I'm not including processed foods as an elimination, because simply by removing gluten-containing grains, industrial seed oils, and refined sugars, that alone is going to eliminate pretty much any processed food. The only thing then is you don't want to go and say, okay, I'm eliminating all gluten-containing grains. Well, that's fine. Let me go buy from the gluten-free section. I still don't recommend doing that. They're just filled with other crap that is not good for you. So a good way to determine whether or not it is something you should buy while you're at the store, flip it over, and I'm trying to think if I have anything here in the truck. I don't think I have anything that has an ingredient list right now. I need to do some shopping, and I typically buy all whole foods now. But flip it over, look at an ingredient label. Does it have anything that you don't know what it is? Does it have anything that you can't pronounce? Does it say wheat, gluten, wheat germ, wheat bran, modified wheat star? There's so many different names, I can't even remember them all. But does it say any of those things? Are there things, like I said, that you don't know what they are, you can't pronounce them? I really wouldn't recommend going over 5 ingredients total. If it does, and they're all real whole food ingredients, that you know what they are, you can pronounce them, and you can find them in in somebody's kitchen, then that may be okay to eat. So to recap, level 1, we're going to eliminate all industrial seed oils. We're going to eliminate all gluten-containing grains, wheat, barley, spelt, rye. I believe there's one other that I'm forgetting right now. Then we are going to eliminate refined sugars, and with that is going to come all of those processed foods. Eat real whole foods: meat, fish, eggs, nuts, seeds, fowl, poultry, vegetables. And on this level, dairy and fruit would also be acceptable. If you have a dairy allergy, you have a sensitivity, you should eliminate it. If you suspect that you do, no matter what level you're in, the dairy would be acceptable. But I would recommend you eliminate it if you have any suspicion of having a dairy sensitivity. It's not just lactose. There is people who are sensitive to the whey protein as well as casein protein. So there are other compounds in there. And if you are going to do dairy, which I would recommend you eliminate for at least 30 days, 90 to 100 would be better. But if you're going to do dairy, conventional dairy that you buy at the store that is pasteurized, homogenized, skimmed, and otherwise adulterated is not a real whole food. That is a processed food that we want to eliminate. If you're going to include dairy, it should be raw, unpasteurized, unfiltered, not homogenized, and it should be from cows that are 100% grass-fed. And as we discussed in the first video, animals that are eating their natural diet, such as cows eating only grass and no grain, have a better nutrient profile, especially in the fat, than they do if they are finished on grains or fed grains to maximize production of their milk. So level 2 is more of a paleo-style diet. Now this is where we're going to eliminate all of the grains. We're also going to eliminate legumes, unless you're willing to soak and sprout the legumes. In my opinion, it's really just not worth it. I have not been able to find legumes soaked and sprouted. Excuse me. I have been able to find nuts and seeds that are soaked and sprouted and be able to buy those. So that's why I don't say anything about eliminating those. And we want to soak and sprout them to help eliminate any antinutrients that they have in them. In the keto phase, the keto level of this level 3, you would not eat legumes at all, even if they were soaked and sprouted, just simply because of their high carb content. All right, so back to level 2 with the, lost my train of thought. So back to level 2 with the eliminations there. We are going to eat meat, fish, eggs, nuts, seeds. Depending on whose level or whose style of paleo you're following, you would eliminate dairy. I still say you could go ahead and include dairy if you want. But again, it should be raw from grass-fed cows. So you're going to eliminate all grains, so that's rice, corn, wheat, barley, rye, spelt, quinoa, and others. You're going to eliminate the industrial seed oils, the refined sugars, and you're going to eliminate legumes unless they are soaked and sprouted. At this level, well, in all of the levels, you're going to eat anywhere from 3 to 9 cups of vegetables per day, splitting them up equally between leafy greens, colorful, and sulfur containing. And this is a strategy that I have adopted from the Walls protocol, and that these levels are kind of adopted from the Walls protocol, but just kind of making it my own. So leafy greens, that should be fairly self-explanatory. You want to eat 1 to 3 cups of those per day. Um, Colorful vegetables, there are 6 colors within nutrition. There's red, orange, yellow, green, brown, and white go together, and then blue, black, purple, whatever you want to call those darker colors, those all go together as the 6th color. You want to try to have at least 3 different colors at each meal that you have. When snacking, I personally recommend avoiding snacking, because snacking tends, especially in trucking, snacking tends to be mindless eating just while going down the road, and you're not paying attention to how much you're eating. Even, healthy snacks like nuts. Nuts can be pretty high in carbs, and if you are just mindlessly eating them, you're going to far exceed your carb intake for the day without even realizing it. So level 3 of the Trucking into Wellness diet is a keto-based diet. Still eating all real whole foods. I don't recommend counting net carbs, because even when we do eat certain things, and it has that label on there, 3 net carbs per serving. Well, if you flip it over and you read the ingredients, they're putting a lot of crap in there that helps bring down the carb count, because when you calculate your net carbs, you're calculating total carbs minus fiber minus sugar alcohols. And that is, food manufacturers are out to make money. They don't care about your health. So they're putting a bunch of crap in there that will help them bring that net carb count down so that they can advertise it as being keto friendly. I personally recommend counting total carbs, and for keto, keeping total carbs under 50 grams per day. This will keep you more honest on how many carbs you have actually consumed, especially when eating some of those processed foods, which obviously I advocate you staying away from. For keto, we want to keep it under 50 grams per day. And that's if you want to lose significant amounts of weight. So we're talking 20 pounds or more. Or maybe you have type 2 diabetes, pre-diabetes, obesity, high blood pressure, other metabolic issues that are indicating that we have poor metabolic flexibility, then keto may be right for you as well. If you're looking to lose some weight, but maybe not a significant amount of weight, or maybe you don't necessarily want to lose weight, you just want to recomp your body, and while burning fat, you want to build muscle, 50 to 100 grams of carbs per day, depending on your personal bio-individuality and your weight and everything, you'll fall somewhere in that spectrum, and you can safely lose weight eating 50 to 100 grams of carbs. And then if you are looking to maintain your weight, 100 to 150 grams of carbs per day will be ideal for you. And again, somewhere in that range, somebody who is lighter weight would fall lower on the spectrum than somebody who is heavier. Some people who are endurance athletes may need to exceed the 150 grams of carbs per day, depending on their sport, their bio-individuality, their goals, and how hard they're really working. And that's something that I would not recommend anybody do without the guidance of a practitioner. So with the diet, the Trucking into Wellness diet plan here, we do have a 4th level that I won't get into. I will recommend it. It is something that we can work one-on-one with, and that is the advanced healing. And that's where we're going to get into either an AIP diet or a GAPS diet for specific medical conditions, or somebody who we've worked on their digestion and the digestion just is not coming along, even though we've been working with targeted supplementation and a proper gut promoting diet. So with that, I want to also go into so that's the diet section and the changes that we're going to make in the 21-day program. You can 100% do this on your own. If you can hold yourself accountable and you can motivate yourself every day, every week to be able to do this, there's no reason you can't do it on your own. In the third video, we'll talk about lifestyle changes that are going to be made during the 21-day program, including sleep, helping to minimize stress, and helping to deal with stress, and then sleep, stress, and we'll talk about some movement as well besides just the exercise that we covered in the first video. With the 21-day group challenge that the signups are opening up on Wednesday, September 30th, which is likely the day this video is getting posted. That email will go out to my internal mailing list first. So if you have not already, use the link in the description below to request your guide to reclaim your health, reclaim your life, embrace the journey in 7 easy steps. And then I will be sending out the link to those people first. Then I'm also going to send it out to the members of my group first, and then I'm going to start promoting it to other groups and the general public. There will be a 15% off code for up to 15 people. The group will be limited to 30 people in total. I want to make sure that I'm not overwhelming myself. So with that, I am also going to be willing to do 5 one-on-one clients. With the one-on-one, it can be either one-on-one group challenge, a one-on-one 21-day challenge. With that, instead of having the weekly group coaching calls, we would have weekly individual coaching calls. So if maybe you want to do the 21-day challenge, but you're not comfortable sharing your information in a group setting, we can do that on the individual basis. And if it's something where you know that you have some medical conditions that you believe would benefit from dietary and lifestyle changes, or you just want to know if you can see some improvement and want to learn how to support your body with the medical conditions that you have through dietary and lifestyle changes, we can jump straight into the functional nutrition. I am also going to leave a link in the description below to request a consultation or a discovery call. I do have a special offer in combining both the 21-day program, the 21-day challenge, and my 12-week or 3-month functional nutritional therapy. We can combine them together on a payment plan, or we can, and I've got a special promotion that I'm gonna give to 5 people for that if they want to combine the two, but that is only gonna be done through the discovery call. The price of the 21-day group challenge is going to be $79. The individual version would be $149, and then the functional nutrition 12-week program is going to be $499. With the 21-day challenge, you're going to get a NutriQ for those of you who are familiar with it. For those of you who are not, well, you'll get 2 of them, one at the beginning, one at the end, to just see where you started and where you finished. You'll get the NutriQ. For those of you who are not familiar with that, it's a nutritional questionnaire, and you'll get a graph that will show what areas need the most attention and what are the highest priorities. We'll have weekly coaching calls, and then at the end you'll fill out another NutriQ. Throughout it, if you are interested in, open to, and wanting supplements to help support your body based on what the NutriQ says, you'll get some supplement recommendations. Where this differs from the functional nutrition 12-week, and then there's a 24-week functional nutrition program as well. Where the 21-day challenge and that differ on the NutriQ is that we're going to have more meetings, and the 12-week program is the functional nutrition program is a one-on-one program. So we're going to have an initial interview where we're going to go over your entire history, your family history. We'll go over that NutriQ in depth. Have an evaluation. We'll come up with a individualized protocol specific for you and your NutriQ results. So we'll have that. You'll have coaching calls as well as the NutriQ, and going over that, we will do 4 times in total. Or I'm sorry, 3 times. 4 times in total. It's the initial interview. We'll have one. Then we're going to do one at the end of each 4-week period. And the final one will just be looking at where you started, where you ended up, and coming up with a plan from there. You will have, I believe it's 6 calls in total. There's the initial interview, the final call, and then you're going to have 2 NutriQ evaluation and appointment calls, as well as 2 coaching calls. So yeah, 6 calls in total. And that is the 12-week program I recommend for people who are experiencing digestive issues. Hang on, I have it all written out here and I don't have it loaded up. Just give me a minute for that to load up on my computer. So the 12-week program would be ideal for people who struggle with elimination, including constipation, bloating, watery or loose stool, going too soon, going too often, having that urgency to go, especially out on the road. That is something rough to deal with. I've dealt with it myself, and oh crap, where's the next bathroom? Am I gonna make it? That's not natural. We should be, if you're eating at least once a day, you should be going at least once a day. And if you're not, even though you may not be straining to go and constipated in the traditional sense, from a functional standpoint, if you're eating at least once a day and not eliminating at least once a day, you are functionally constipated, because it should be about a 24-hour transit time from mouth to toilet. So this 12-hour program is ideal for people who struggle with those issues and wants personalized recommendations and is ready to reclaim their health, or reclaim their life, and embrace the journey. The 24-week program is more ideal for those who have minor or major medical conditions, such as diabetes, high blood pressure, autoimmune diseases, and more. If you want personalized recommendations and you are ready to reclaim your health, reclaim your life, and embrace the journey. Also, with the functional nutrition programs, you will get 15% off of all supplements and protocols that are recommended to you. As far as supplements, my approach is, if it is not needed, we're not going to use it. If it is needed to attain a certain goal, we're going to use it to the end of attaining that end has been reached. Then there is no need for us to continue with the supplementation. I believe in targeted supplementation for a short period of time. Can you do it with food? Yes, you can. However, what I recommend is, or how I explain it is that, it took us years to decades, depending on how old you are, it took us years to decades to damage and destroy our bodies. So, eating nutrient dense foods, it's going to take years, or it could potentially take months to years because the body is very efficient. So, it could potentially take months to years to fix the damage that we've done through targeted supplementation, where we're getting a high amount of the necessary nutrients for our body to make the repairs that it needs to make. Through that targeted supplementation, we could be looking at weeks to months rather than months to years. So it's really about your openness to using the supplements and how quickly you want to see results. So look forward to video number 3. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can find out when I post that video, and it will be up shortly. Once I get up in the morning while I'm getting a service done on the truck, I'll probably record the third video outside or maybe in the lounge in my company's shop. So again, signups open more than likely today that you are watching this, because this will more than likely be updated on Wednesday, September 30th. That's when the signups will open for the 21-day group challenge. Signups will close out on Wednesday, October 7th, and then the challenge begins on Sunday, October 11th. In the first video, I did mention that I was looking at potentially doing a course along with it. That looks like it's going to be a go. I was worried that I wouldn't be able to get the videos recorded and uploaded in time, but in a week and a half, I should be able to have those videos uploaded and ready to go. Have them recorded, uploaded, and ready to go. So with the 21-day challenge, you're going to get those personal recommendations. You're going to get the 2 NutriQs, the weekly coaching calls, as well as daily emails with actionable steps and daily small lessons on sleep, stress, diet, exercise, lifestyle changes, and more, because it's going to be more for those. Nutrition is going to be a big focus as well. So I hope to see you guys in the challenge. Sign up once the links are up, and I will talk to you all later.